So you've got your bachelor or bachelorette. You're having a good time. She's beautiful. He's beautiful. They're beautiful. Whatever you want to call yourself doesn't matter to me. I'm just here for the experience and journey of the other person. And that's amazing. So you've been swiping on these dating apps and having a good time. And you say to yourself, whoa, whoa, whoa. I've got a lot of options here. Well, but I found one person. Yeah, but I got a lot of options. And you've got 5 in the pocket just in case this one doesn't work out, but you've been kind of slightly texting the other girls or other guys and making sure they're still on the roster. But then you get really serious with one person. This person's consistent, they're taking their time, and it feels good. Everything's great. But you don't want to get too invested because there's other options, there's other choices. And because of your instant gratification brain of knowing that not everything lasts forever, you've watched Toys R Us go away. You've watched Blockbuster get destroyed. You've watched your parents' marriage get crumpled. As a matter of fact, you've watched the end of the universe in many different TV shows. You know that nothing lasts forever. And by all means, you don't want to feel pain at all. You want your brain to be constantly stimulated. You don't want a single second of sadness. So by all means, you prepare for it. You don't fully invest yourself into it. You always create a backup plan all the time. And this is the monogamy issue that we have today. See, the issue with common day monogamy is the simple fact of the matter that everybody feels like they have an infinite amount of choices. There's you and you and you and, wait a second, Soldier Boy, you, everybody. Everybody has a choice. Everybody has the ability or option to choose wherever they want to. They could see somebody halfway across the world. They could go to Thailand to find somebody, a mail order bride, a passport, bro. You can do whatever you want to. It's easy. It's so fun. You can have all these people that you love indefinitely, and you end up losing on an opportunity of finding your soulmates. Oh, my soul tie, my connection. But I believe dating apps killed the idea of a soulmate. You see, back in the day, it was just you in your small town, and you were the only guy that she saw besides her brother and her father, so by all means, you're up. Or maybe you're a woman and you see a guy with a good job and you've been propagandized inside your mind to think that, oh, I gotta give it a big strong man. If I don't give it a big strong man, I'm not gonna be able to do nothing. I'm just a woman on woman. Oh, I need a nuclear family. I gotta have 2 kids and take care of the house. You were brought up this way. You gotta be a good Christian woman, a good Muslim woman, a good woman in general. You gotta be good for him. Or you gotta be a good man. You gotta be, factoried in. But the idea of everything is getting torn down. Gender stereotypes are getting reinvented. People are getting reinvented. Humans are getting changed. And, well, you don't want to stick in your same old category box forever. You want to expand. You want to get out there. Yeah. You could finally date an Asian woman. You're great. You could date a black woman and you're white. Racism gone. Jim Crow who? You can finally enjoy the aspect of choice, something that you didn't know you had. And maybe you've been ugly your entire life. Yeah, I'm not the best looker. I'm just not a good looking guy. well, by all means, that doesn't matter. Because you can have different options. There's people that are also uglier than you, or people that are beautiful that like ugly people, or people that like you because you're passionate about your aspects. You may be ugly but you have charisma, or you have a good body, or maybe you have more money. There are other aspects that get you in there, and this is the issue with monogamy. You want to find just one person when you've been given so many options. Imagine, if you will, let's commodify people for a moment. Let's generalize and commodify. Let's say people are Netflix, right? You have one dating app, Netflix, let's say that, Hinge even. And you say to yourself, okay, I'll stick with Netflix. I only use Netflix. But a really cool show just came out on Amazon Prime. And you don't want to miss it. Everybody's talking about the show. Everybody's making videos about it. Everybody's saying, dude, this is a really good show. You should see it. But you promise yourself, I kind of want to stick to Netflix. I don't want to ruin my commitment to Netflix. And everybody else is telling you, yeah, but there's other options. Influencers are telling you there's other options. The world is telling you, get Peacock too. What? Get Peacock. The world is pushing you towards leaving your commitment. It's telling you. But do you want to stay strong and resolute when you see your friend just had 10 different subscription services? And yeah, it costs him more money, but he looks happier. At least on social media, he looks happier. I want to be like him, but that's not the reality of the situation. Yes, that was an allusion to cheating on your partner. Oh, that's horrifying. Yes, don't cheat, by the way. You see, even in monogamous situations, People still cheat. Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Defeats the entire purpose of having a one-on-one relationship if you're just gonna cheat, right? Kind of defeats the entire idea of keeping it in your pants if you're just gonna cheat or play around with other people. A lot of people feel like they need a plan B. I'm not talking about that contraceptive that gets rid of that little tummy tighten inside of your stomach. No, not that plan B. People are so scared of losing anything, being lonely or dissatisfied or losing an ounce of serotonin for just 1 second, losing that little bit in their mind. To be sad for 1 second is to be death when there's an infinite amount of everything everywhere all at once, all on your phone every time. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about everything. You can know about how much a polar bear weighs. You can figure out the capital of Arizona. You can figure out how many bananas it takes to kill a rhinoceros. You can figure out what it's the weight of a cloud. You can figure out the texture of your shirt. You can calorie count on there. You can make a list of things you can't do. You can financially budget. You can figure out how JFK was actually assassinated. You can figure out Martin Luther King's middle name. I don't even know Martin Luther King's middle name. Martin Luther Prince? Martin Luther King Jr. King Jr. would just be a prince, right? You can figure out so many things. You can post that thought that I said, despite the fact that I just said Luther in the middle of it, and you can put that thought on the internet. And the internet people could tell you you're an idiot because you just said Luther. And somebody's going to comment and say that and say, oh, you're an idiot. Boom. It's called the options of choice. A plan B is what you need. You don't want to be sad for a single second. You say to yourself, oh no, I can't do it. I gotta doom scroll. I gotta keep the constant drudgery in my brain. I can't allow myself to get destroyed. And with all these different opinions and different choices and different options, this influx of information, you wonder to yourself, why can't you remember any of it? Why don't you remember any of this stuff? Because it's so instant and so fast. And so you make all these plan Bs to actively be less lonely, less sad, but you can't remember why you're doing it. You can't commit yourself to a singular task. You can't do your bed every morning. You always stop going to the gym. You can't even stay consistent with your breakfast. And all these other aspects, you want to stay consistent with one partner. You want to stay with one person. You want to be with one girl, one guy, one person. You want to do this, but it doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work. It doesn't work because you've made a plan B and you're still texting that other girl and you say, oh yeah, she's just from Tinder. Or you're still texting that guy and say, he's just a friend I made on Hinge. A friend you made on Hinge? He's a friend you made on Hinge? I was on Bumble Friends and I found this person. That's how you found him? That was your friend? And you know in the back of your mind that this could end. And you know that if it does end, you'll be sad, but to combat that sadness, to fight against it, to go against the instant drudgery inside your brain, you make sure that all your friends are people that potentially could be there for you in more ways than one. And you do this all the time. And you say to yourself, I'm never going to cheat. Never. And you don't cheat. You do something more manipulative than cheating. You plan ahead. You make your plan Bs. Your plan C's, your plan D's, your plan E's, your plan F's, your plan H's, your plan I's. I'm just going to like this on Instagram a little bit. I'm just going to like her on Instagram. And you notice that you've liked 178 of her posts. And she looks through your phone and says, you've liked 178 of this girl's posts. I think this is, don't worry about it. She's just a friend. I want to show my support. She's a great artist, but she started in OF. Yeah, but I'm not subscribed to it. And you're not. Not at all. No. But... and that's where the issue comes in. Yeah, but she's mentally getting stressed out, and you think to yourself, wait a second. She's causing these issues because maybe she has a plan B as well. And so you gain paranoia because you have so many options. You set up your own downfall, creating the building blocks of your own destruction, planning for failure by causing it, a self-fulfilling prophecy, one might say. That is you. You are doing this. The only common denominator and why you have so many relationships and so many people and so many failings, and why every time something bad happens in your relationship, you think to yourself, let's just end it. You can't end it. You got a studio apartment with this guy. What are you doing? You got a studio apartment with this girl. Why are you thinking you can end it? You can't. Because it's not that bad yet. Yeah, you argue, but you can talk about it. Yeah, you did this. You stole her car. You did that. You can talk about it a little bit. You can speak. You can communicate. And I think people lost that aspect of communication. And that's why everybody wants to do this thing where they say, we can do polyamory since you're going to cheat regardless. No, you don't have to do polyamory. I'm not pushing and advocating for polyamory. Another video about polyamory is coming, so I got a whole thing to say about that. But this is the issue with monogamy. People think infinity exists. Infinity doesn't exist. Infinity is a concept. And if you try to bring that concept into reality and try to make infinity a real thing, if you think infinity can actually happen where you yourself are the god of everything and you have all these potential aspects and the manipulation of dating apps, because you see you have 27 matches, and out of those 27 matches you found one girl, stick to that one person. Stick to them. You don't have what it takes to be polyamorous. You don't. You barely communicate. You don't do the dishes. You don't know what it's like to actively go through stress and hardship. You don't know what it's like to not be jealous. You can't do it. So don't force yourself to be the only monogamous, polyamorous person ever. Don't do that. To have a polyamorous mindset, to think that you can do everything all at once. You have the ability because you consume everything. You think you can do everything. That's not the reality. You can't do everything because you consume everything. You can try really hard. You can do your best. And by God, LG, well, because you're doing your best. I'm so proud of you. But your best isn't good enough because you refuse to be introspective. You refuse to accept the fact that it is your fault. You refuse to accept the fact that you can't do it. You are pushing yourself too far, stretching yourself too thin, putting your hand in every pot, not really being a master of anything. You're not even a jack of all trades. You're just a master of none. You're a master of nothing. You're a king of nothing. You gain nothing by doing these things. And you say to yourself, but I can. But I can. Then block her. Then get rid of him. Then don't do that with that person. Don't think about that person that way. Don't set up a backup plan. Don't think when it gets bad that you have to leave. Work on it. Build on it. I remember when I was first learning how to ride a bike. I was so upset and so angry. And my dad looked at me and said, don't worry. Everybody falls. Just keep going. And I said, are you sure everybody falls? He said, everybody falls. And he was right. I remember I watched my sister fall, watched my brother fall. I watched my mom fall on a bike. That was crazy. She hadn't run a bike in eons. My dad got on the bike and he fell and said, see? And I said, so you can forget how to ride a bike? He said, you can if you haven't done it in a while. You got to work on it. You got to keep going. And despite the abuse my dad gave me growing up, he had those moments of great lessons that instilled in me what I am today. Despite the hardships and the bad moments, there was still a bit of good in there. That's what I want to talk about. Commitment, consistency. Being consistent. If you want to get a partner, you're struggling right now, you don't know what to do, here's what I recommend. Try going to the gym. Don't go to a bar. Don't go out and drink and things of that variety. Go out to a gym. Maybe a Planet Fitness. Go there around 4 o'clock or maybe late at night. Work out. Do small workouts. Do not work out to punish your body. Work out to celebrate what your body can do. It's a better mindset to have, as opposed to punishing your body for what it can't do, celebrating what it can do. Try to do the weights. Can't do those. Try to run. Maybe you're really good at flexibility. Maybe you're good at calisthenics. Maybe you can actually hit a pull-up because your back is good. Maybe you have broad shoulders and you want to work at those. Do things to make your body stay active. Just try everything out. Full body workout at first day. See what you can do and what you can't do. Try to use machines that you're uncomfortable with. Ask for help. Try to be in a community there. You'll gain friends. Friends that go to the gym. Friends that are already at the gym. Maybe somebody that is starting the gym same as you. You never know. Somebody you see with perfect form or great technique. Somebody that's doing things. And maybe ask them, can you help me? Not a woman or a man. Doesn't matter. Just somebody that's good at it. You'll gain community. You'll become a regular there. And over time, this isn't how to get a partner. This is more important than that. Over time, your sheets will begin to smell like garbage. You'll need to wash your sheets because you'll be able to smell it. And you'll need to eat. You'll meal prep. And you'll need to be consistent. You won't feel energized if you don't feel consistent at the gym. You won't feel energized if you don't eat. You won't feel energized if you don't stay on it. You need to drink water. You need to do these things. These are very important. Very, very important to do. So after that, after all the things you've done, you now have a trend of consistency. You go to the gym 4 times a week. You wash your sheets twice a month. It's very important. Wash your sheets twice a month because they smell really bad. You meal prep. You have 3 aspects of consistency. Even if you fail, keep going. Just because you fail, you are not a failure. This will help you gain the consistency to talk to your partner when it comes to the bad parts of relationships. This is the good part of everything, right? Where you have the ability to talk to your partner, the ability to go through the bad things because you know what it is like to fail, and know that because you're failing does not make you a failure. This will create the mindset and callous your brain. This will make it work. I release a lot of videos and I get a very low amount of views on a lot of my videos. And I see that number. Sometimes a video gets 200 views, 500, 600. Randomly, I'll get a 1,000 view video. But I've begun not to care about those metrics. I know that not all of my videos are going to be watched by everybody. This video may not even blow up. Who knows? Who cares? The important part is that I made the video. The important part is that I put it out to the world because I did it. The important part is that I'm consistent with what I'm making. That is the important part. Recently, I've begun to, after every shower, rub my partner down in coconut oil. I'm going to do this for as long as I have coconut oil. I'm going to order some. I'm going to make sure it's good. And I want to show consistency. I want to show commitment. Every Friday, we go out on date night. This week, we can't go out because she's going out of town. I'm very sad about that. But every week, we go out on date night Fridays because she asked me, can we do that? I'm showing commitment and consistency. I'm trying my very best. This will help you in your monogamous situation. This is the issue with monogamy. Consistency, commitment. You can barely deal with yourself. You don't even like yourself. And you expect somebody else to like you? Is that really how it's supposed to operate? You hate yourself, so how can somebody else possibly see the good in you? If you yourself can't see the good in yourself, you have to deal with yourself every day. Well, I deal with myself all the time. I'm hypercritical of myself because I can see it. I'll be damned if I let a hater, even if it's myself, reflect how I am as a human being. I will always be my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter, and my biggest hero. The issue with monogamy is you expect somebody else to be your cheerleader when you yourself can't get up out of bed every day to do it for yourself. That's the issue with monogamy. And so you look for it in other people. You try to cheat. You try to be different. You even try out polyamory and it doesn't work because you get jealous about the other person. Well, they're talking to them more because they're new. If I had a PS5 the entire time and I love my PS5 and I got an Xbox, I'd spend a lot more time on my Xbox than my PS5 because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm trying to learn it. When you discover something new or meet somebody new, you discover that person. You try to learn them. That is the beauty. That is the love of learning someone new. That is what it takes to learn someone new. You have to learn that person. You have to be a part of what that person is. You have to experience that person. That is what it is. That's why polyamory feels so interesting and cool, is because it's always newness. And there's different ways of polyamory. There's different varieties of relationships. I promise you polyamory videos coming very soon. But I tell you this with my whole chest. Be ready for the boredom. Be ready for the bad days. Be ready for the great days. The so-so days. The nothing days. The harder days. Be ready. Stand tall. You must prepare yourself. If you go out into the world and it's very cold and you don't have a jacket, you will shiver and you will freeze. And you will blame the world for your shivering and freezing when you should have brought a jacket. You must blame yourself. Accept that you're blaming yourself. Accept the past of what you cannot change. Accept the future that has not happened yet. Live in the present and be consistent here right now. It sucks to hear this because nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to be told they're doing horrible at what they are. But you are really bad at doing this. Be better. Love. Love. I love you. Thank you for existing. Have a pleasant day.